Hello everyone, my name is Norvia and welcome back to my channel. In this video, I'm going to be sharing with you one of my most favorite setups to do in the entire year, which is my new reading journal setup. For this year's reading journal, I chose a journal from Tifosi, which is the Moonlight Melody dot grid notebook in light blue. To start, it has a really pretty vegan leather cover with gold embossing and shows several elements like a moon, flowers, and birds. It's also got a matching back cover and gold foiled edges. It has 150 numbered pages, which is a little less than what I'm used to, but because it's for the reading journal, I think I'll be okay. One of the reasons it has fewer pages is because I decided to size up this year's journal and go with a B5 size. Previously, I've only ever used A5 size journals, and I'll continue doing that for my bullet journal, which you can see here, the size comparison. I decided to size up my reading journal so that I could play around with my layouts and have a little bit more fun with the reviews. Opening up the journal, the first page we'll come to is the nameplate page. The only thing I'm going to do here is write my name and then move on. Right now I'm going to leave most of the page empty, but I might come back later to add some decoration. Moving on, we'll come to this really awkward first page where both of the pages are already partially connected. This is kind of unusable for me, so I'm going to take my glue tape and glue them both together. Next we'll come to the first dotted page, which is going to be a tracker for a new reading challenge I have this year. I don't want to work on the challenges just yet, so I'll skip this page and then come back to it later in the video. The first page I'm actually going to start working on is my 2026 cover page. As for the main focus of this theme for this setup, I decided to go with these really gorgeous pink and gold embossed window stickers. I'm using both pages for my cover spread, so I'll place one at the top left corner and one at the bottom right corner. These windows are kind of transparent, so first I want to place some cloud stickers so that they're peeking out from behind the windows. Once I have all the cloud stickers arranged just how I want, then I'll peel off the backing to the windows and stick them down. Next, I also have these pink vintage chain stickers that I'll place vertically along the left and right edges. If you like the look of any materials that I'm using so far, I will have links to all of the supplies that I use in the description down below. To complete this border that I have going around the outside edge of the page, I'll add some washi tape horizontally along the remaining empty space at the top and bottom of the pages. Creating a border like this makes it so that both pages feel interconnected and that they go together. In this setup, I'm going to use 6 different washi tapes, 3 blue and 3 pink. Usually, I would say 6 washi tapes is too many for just one theme, but all of these washi tapes come from the same set, so they all have the same cute and dainty vibe, so they all go together. Next, I'll start working on lettering in the title for this page. To do this title, I decided to use my pink metallic paint pen from Artix. I also wanted to try out a new font that I've never used before called Gaudy Ornate. Also, as you might be able to tell, I originally started doing this title at an angle when I wasn't supposed to. However, after sitting back and looking at it, I decided that I actually liked the angled title, so I continued doing it with the rest of the words as well. If you're enjoying the look of things so far, please don't forget to give this video a like, and if you haven't already, please subscribe to my channel. Finally, I'll finish off this page by adding in a few floral and butterfly stickers in some of the empty spaces. Moving on, I'll start working on my books read in 2026 spread. I had almost this exact same page in my 2025 reading journal, and it's just a place where I can write all of the information about all of the books I've read in a year in one spot. I track the book number, the title, the author, and the rating, and this year I'm adding in tracking the format. So far in 2025, all of the books that I've read have been audiobooks, with only one being a physical book. In 2026, I want to diversify my reading formats a little bit by adding in more physical or ebooks into my rotation. I also expanded the number of slots I gave myself, since in 2025 I had enough spaces to track 50 books. For this year's setup, I gave myself space to track 60 books. As for the decoration space on this page, I've left a big empty space at the top of the left page and a smaller space at the bottom of the right page. For the larger empty space, I'll start off by adding in the 2 remaining washi tapes that I didn't use on the previous page. Next, I'll add another large pink window sticker along with this pink perfume bottle sticker. Next, I'll letter in my title using the same pen and font as before. Next, to finish off this little decoration space, I'll add in a few cloud stickers so that they overlap with all of the elements on the page so far. For the empty space at the bottom of the right page, I'm going to use a lot of floral and butterfly stickers to create an overlapping collage. Once I have all the stickers arranged just how I'd like, then I'll cut off the excess. Finally, since so much of the page space was left blank, I'm going to do second line highlights with this light pink marker. I like to do this for a couple of reasons. 1, it'll help me distinguish which line I'm working on. 2, it'll add a pop of color to the page. And 3, it makes the page seem more filled in than it actually is. Next, I'll flip the page so I can start working on my 2026 stat page, which is a new addition to my reading journal this year. For this page's decoration, I'll start off by adding washi tape to the very top. Next, in the upper left corner of the page, I'll glue down this pink and gray floral scrapbook paper. Then, along both sides of the page, I'll place my vintage chain stickers vertically. Then, in the remaining empty space towards the left side of the page, I'll place this pink and gold floral cross sticker. Unfortunately, this is the only time you'll see this type of cross sticker in the entire setup, since as I learned, the backings are really hard to peel off. Next, I'll start working on outlining my table for where I'll track my stats. Previously, I've always tracked my stats monthly, and I always do an end of the year wrap up. But for at the beginning and throughout the year, I wanted a space where I could see and compare all of my stats together. Along the left side of the chart, there are 12 spaces for each of the months, and along the top, I have labels to track the number of books read, the number of pages read, the number of hours listened to, the average star rating, the average time to finish, and the number of 5 stars that I read each month. Next, I'll letter in another title for this page. Finally, I'll finish this page off by adding one more floral sticker and one more perfume bottle sticker. Moving on to the right side of the page, this is going to be my bookshelf page and is basically a visual representation of my goal for the year. At the bottom of the page, I'll place one really big cloud sticker before placing a big window sticker over top. Next, I'll start working on drawing in all of my shelves and books. Last year, my reading goal was to read 40 books in the whole year, but I've already met and exceeded that, so I decided to up my goal this year to a total of 55. Because of that, on this page, I'll draw 5 bookshelves with a total number of 55 books to represent that goal. Then, just so that I remember what my goal number is, and so that I can have a title on this page, I'll write Goal 55 in the same font as before. To finish off the decoration, I'll add a few more tiny cloud stickers in the remaining empty areas. To use this tracker, once I finish a book, I will color in each individual book with a color that corresponds to its star rating. You'll notice that I didn't leave space for my star rating legend on this page, and I'm instead going to do that legend on a separate little cheat sheet. On this little cheat sheet, I'll show which color goes to which star rating. Once I'm finished with it, I'll tuck it into the front of my journal before moving on. I'll flip to the next page, but because I'm a little bit indecisive, I decide I don't want to work on this one right now, so again, I'll skip ahead and come back to this later. The page I'll start working on next is going to be my 2026 bingo and prompts page. I really liked how I had my bingo set up last year, which was inspired by Manda Made. Instead of writing the prompts on the actual bingo squares, I had a separate prompts list, and on that list, the spot that showed which spot on the bingo board they went to was covered up. I really liked doing it this way since it meant I couldn't manufacture a bingo on my own, and it was really more up to chance. I'm going to be doing something very similar this year, but instead of just doing one bingo, I'm going to expand it to two. On the left page is going to be my prompts page, and on the right is going to be my bingo board page. I've done really well at my bingo page this year and thought I could definitely expand it to take on more. The first bingo board is going to relate to things that are in the books, and the second bingo is for things about the book. What I mean by that is that the first one will be more about genres and tropes and things that you'll see written into the actual storyline. And for the second bingo board, it's things about the book, such as how long it was, when it was published, and things about the title. Some examples from the first prompt list are a nonfiction book, a classic, enemies to lovers, time travel, and a young adult book. From the second list, I have prompts such as published before I was born, a physical book, a debut novel, and multiple authors. I do have some very basic rules for this bingo. When I read a book, it can count for both bingo boards, but only one prompt from each list. Once I finish outlining each of the individual bingos, I'll label both axes so that I'm able to tell which square I'm able to fill in for each prompt. And again, just to add a little bit of color and differentiation, I'll highlight every second line. Next, I'll start randomly assigning bingo board squares to each prompt. Each list is made up of 24 prompts, which gives me one free space in the center of each bingo board. I do forget to write free in the middle of my bingo boards, but I'll do that later after this setup. Last year, I didn't have a free space in my bingo, so I totally forgot to omit assigning that middle free space to the prompts. I'll figure out my mistake, and to fix that, I'll just put a piece of sticker paper over that prompt that should have been omitted and continue on from there. Also, when I start assigning prompts for the second bingo board, I'll forget that I labeled that one differently and will still be using the same labeling connotations as the first one. I'll figure this out pretty quickly, and I'm able to fix one of the labels, but for the others, I'll just add a bit of sticker paper and go from there. To cover up these prompts, I'm going to add a little bit of washi tape over them. The washi tape is a little bit see-through, so I'll do 2 layers of it. Once I read a book that matches a specific prompt, I'll use my X-Acto knife to cut away that little bit of washi tape relating to the prompt. For this page's decoration, I have left blank spaces beside each of the prompts and the bingo boards. In those spaces, I'll make little collages with the big window stickers, scrapbook paper, washi tape, and smaller stickers. I'll also add the title of Book Bingo to the right side of the page. Moving on to the next page, I'll start working on my book matrix. This is how I decide on which book is my favorite of the year. I've previously used book brackets to help decide my favorite, but I think they're pretty inefficient because they only tell you your top favorite book and maybe your second favorite. I like using the matrix because each and every book is compared to each other and then ranked on a point system. This method is much more precise and will tell you your rankings from 1 to 12 exactly. If you want to see specific examples of how this matrix works, I have one of these in my 2025 reading journal, and I update it in every reading journal video. However, I am going to update and change this page from how I did it in 2025. Instead of writing in the titles for each of my favorite books for each month, I'm going to use the book covers instead. At the top of the page, I'm going to draw outlines for 12 different boxes, so that will be the place that I put each book cover. For the decoration on this page, I'll do the very same thing I did for my cover spread and use a window sticker as a reference and place clouds behind it. I'll also place one other big floral sticker just to fill up that empty space. Next, I'll write in the title of Book Matrix. Then with that same paint pen, I'll write the initials of each month underneath each of the boxes. Next, I'll start filling in each of the labels on the matrix. The last thing I'll do on this page is color in each of those labels boxes so that it's easier to tell which are the titles and which is the actual planning space on the matrix. Next, I'll move on to another very important spread, which is going to be my series tracker. I'm doing this tracker very differently than I've done in previous years, and I'll start off by cutting a little horizontal Dutch door at the top of the right page. For my previous series tracker, All I had was the title of the series and then each of the little individual boxes to draw in. I found that along with having those boxes, I really like having the title of each book next to them so that I know exactly which book I'm filling in. However, adding in these titles instead of just the boxes takes up a lot more room. To fix this issue, I'm going to dedicate a lot of space to my series tracker and give it 2 full spreads or 4 individual pages. I want to have just one decorated title space between all 4 of the pages, so when I cut out the Dutch door, that allows me a little pocket to see through to the next page. I'm going to use that small space at the top of both the left and right pages for the title, and the rest of the space will be dedicated to all of the series tracking. I'll start decorating by first placing some washi tape and then placing some cloud and floral stickers over top. I've already prepped this page in pencil, so I know exactly which series I want to track. With my pen, I'll start outlining each of the individual boxes. Then I'll go on to write the titles of each of the books in the series. Next, I'll add in the title for my series tracker in the empty space at the top of the page. Here we'll also get a little quick visit from my cat Nacho. Moving on to doing more decoration, now that I've filled in all of the series, I have some blank space between them. In those blank spaces, I'll add a few small cloud and floral stickers. Next, I'll move on to start coloring in the boxes of the books I've already read. Also, I have to apologize for this really weird yellow filter that my video gets. I don't know why it does this, and I checked the original recording and it's doing it there, so it wasn't due to any editing that I did. It happens a couple more times throughout this video, but thankfully not the entire thing. I truly have no idea why it's doing this, and I'm sorry if it bothers you. It really bothers me too. Finally, for one last little touch to the title area, I'll add in some chain stickers horizontally. Flipping backwards in my journal now, I'll start working on my top TBR page. On this page, I'll place the book covers of the top 12 books I most want to read this year. For this year's top TBR, I have The Martian, Caraval, Ruthless Vows, Shadow and Bone, Sunrise on the Reaping, Promises and Pomegranates, Crooked Kingdom, Assistant to the Villain, The Serpent and the Wings of Night, and Dragonfall. Now I'm sure you've noticed, but there are 2 empty spaces that have been penciled in for book covers. I'm reserving these spots for the books The Knave and the Moon and Rites of the Starling, but at the time I was filming this video, both of these books did not have book covers released yet. After I glue in all of the book titles, then I'll write in my empty star ratings underneath each of them. At the very center of this page, I've left space to do my decoration and title. Moving on to the other side of the page, this is also a new addition to my reading journal for anticipated releases in 2026. I'll start off by decorating the top of this page with a piece of scrapbook paper. Then along the edges of this page, I'll place some chain stickers vertically. In the middle of this, I'll label my title. Anticipated releases was way too big of a title for this type of font, so instead for this page, I changed it to new releases. I didn't like how my W turned out, so I wrote another W on a different piece of sticker paper and stuck it over top. Next, I'll add a few more stickers to both pages before moving on to the functional planning space. I'll start working on outlining 12 boxes, one for each month of the year. In these boxes, I'll be able to keep track of the titles, authors, and release dates of new books. The very last thing I'll do to this page is color in and title the headers on each of these boxes. Flipping back to the very first dotted page, this is going to be my A to Z reading challenge. I've never done this type of challenge before, and honestly, I'm not going to put a lot of pressure on myself to complete it, but I just thought it'd be something fun to add this year. On this page, I have one big empty box in the center with the letters of the alphabet written down the left side of it. In the remaining empty space in that box, I'll be able to write the titles and authors of the books that fit this challenge. At the top of the page, I'll letter my title of A to Z Reading Challenge. My mind must have been totally elsewhere when I was doing this because I somehow misspelled reading and instead did a D instead of a G. However, this is easily fixed by placing down a bit of sticker paper and then writing the correct letter over top. Next, I'll fill in the remaining empty spaces at the bottom, sides, and top of the page with some more decoration. And again, for one last final touch, I'll add second line highlights to the box. I finally finished all of the pages for my yearly setup, but I also wanted to do the basic setup for January as well in this video. My monthly reading journal setups are going to be very similar to how I did it last year, with just a few small changes. First off, each month is still going to get its own dedicated theme. Also, each monthly spread will still have a big calendar as its main focal point. However, because I've moved to a larger B5 journal, I have more space in the calendar than I did before. Because of this extra space, I'm going to write the titles of the books in the actual calendar, and I'm going to omit the key entirely. Omitting the key will give me more space for my book covers and for additional stats that I didn't have last year. I'm also thinking about adding a monthly TBR so that you'll be able to get a glimpse of what I'm thinking of reading in the next month. For January's decoration, I'm going with a mostly brown and gold theme that has both botanical and holiday elements as well. The main focus of this theme are these mechanical doll terrariums. These stickers are from an advent calendar I got from Sticky and are from an artist called Yumiko Tezuka. Along with these main stickers, I round out the theme by including a couple washi tapes and some other gold foiled small stickers. For this page's title, I'm going to go with a very similar double-line font that I used in my initial setup, but this one just doesn't have as many flourishes. The very last thing I'll do to this page is write in the titles and number each of the calendar boxes. With that all done, we've officially come to the very end of this video. Thank you so much for watching all the way until the end, and I hope that you enjoyed seeing me set up my 2026 reading journal. Please let me know in the comments down below if you have any similar pages to mine and which book you're most excited to read next year. Again, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in my next video.